Episode 13, Season 1, let's get started.
Once upon a time, there was a wooden puppet named Pinocchio. He was carved by an old woodcarver named Geppetto, who longed for a child. One night, as Geppetto gazed at his puppet, he made a wish. He wished that Pinocchio could become a real boy. A magical fairy overheard his wish and decided to help. She gave life to Pinocchio, who could now talk, walk, and think like a person. But there was a condition: he had to prove he was brave, truthful, and kind. Pinocchio was thrilled to be alive, but he quickly discovered that life wasn't as easy as he had imagined. The fairy warned him, if you want to become a real boy, you must always be honest and kind. She also gave him a special gift: whenever he lied, his nose would grow longer. Pinocchio promised to be good, but as he set out on his journey, he found it hard to keep his promises. He was soon tested with difficult choices that would shape his future. Pinocchio's adventures began when he met a sly fox and a cunning cat. They pretended to be his friends, but they only wanted to take advantage of him. The fox and cat convinced him to join them in a magical place called the Land of Toys, where children could play all day without any rules. Pinocchio was tempted, despite remembering the fairy's advice. He decided to go with them, hoping to find happiness and fun without thinking about the consequences of his actions. When Pinocchio reached the Land of Toys, he was amazed. There were games, sweets, and laughter everywhere. For a while, he forgot about the fairy's warning and enjoyed himself without any worries. But soon, strange things began to happen. The children in the Land of Toys, including Pinocchio, started turning into donkeys. It was a punishment for their laziness and lack of discipline. Panicked and afraid, Pinocchio realized he had made a mistake by ignoring the fairy's advice. Desperate to escape, Pinocchio ran from the Land of Toys. However, he found himself in even more trouble. He was captured by a man who forced him to work in a circus, performing tricks as a donkey. Pinocchio longed to be free and remembered the fairy's words about honesty and kindness. At that moment, he wished he could go back to being a puppet and make better choices. The fairy appeared, feeling pity for him, and transformed him back to his original form, giving him another chance. Grateful for his second chance, Pinocchio decided to search for his father, Geppetto. He had heard that Geppetto went looking for him after he disappeared. Pinocchio felt guilty for causing his father so much worry and decided to be brave and responsible. His journey was filled with challenges, but he was determined to find Geppetto and show that he had learned from his mistakes. Along the way, he faced many obstacles but remained focused on his goal, hoping to make things right. During his search, Pinocchio learned that Geppetto had been swallowed by a giant whale while searching for him in the sea. Shocked but determined, Pinocchio bravely jumped into the ocean to find his father. Inside the whale's belly, he found Geppetto, tired and hungry but alive. Overjoyed to see each other, they embraced, and Geppetto forgave Pinocchio. Pinocchio realized how much his father loved him and felt a deep sense of responsibility to make better choices in the future. Pinocchio came up with a clever plan to escape the whale. He and Geppetto gathered wood and other objects they found inside the whale's belly. They set a small fire, which made the whale sneeze, and with one giant sneeze, Pinocchio and Geppetto were pushed out of the whale's mouth and back into the ocean. They swam to shore, relieved and grateful to be safe. This brave act showed Pinocchio's growth, as he had risked his life to save his father. Back on land, Pinocchio and Geppetto returned home together. The fairy saw Pinocchio's bravery and honesty, realizing he had truly changed. She appeared to him one final time and said, "Pinocchio, you have shown courage and kindness. You have proven that you deserve to be a real boy." With a wave of her wand, the fairy turned Pinocchio into a real, human child. Pinocchio and Geppetto were overjoyed, knowing that their love and trust had helped them overcome many challenges. From that day forward, Pinocchio promised to always be honest and kind. He learned that true happiness comes from doing the right thing and caring for others. Geppetto was proud of his son, who had transformed from a mischievous puppet into a responsible, loving child. They lived happily together, cherishing each day. Pinocchio knew he would face challenges in the future, but with the lessons he had learned, he felt ready to face them with courage and kindness. Pinocchio continued his life as a real boy, and he made new friends who valued honesty and kindness. He shared his adventures with them, warning them about the dangers of being deceitful. The lessons he had learned made him wiser, and he began to enjoy life with a new perspective. Geppetto saw Pinocchio's growth and felt proud of him. Together, they rebuilt their little home and filled it with laughter and love, appreciating the simple joys that life offered them each day. One day, Pinocchio visited his old village, and the townspeople were amazed by how much he had changed. They remembered him as the mischievous puppet who used to get into trouble, but now, he was a kind and helpful boy. Pinocchio helped others in the village, using his experiences to guide and advise those who needed support. Seeing the joy he could bring to others made Pinocchio feel proud, and he knew that his transformation was a result of his journey toward honesty and courage. Geppetto continued working as a woodcarver, and Pinocchio helped him whenever he could. They became closer, sharing stories and memories that strengthened their bond. Geppetto felt blessed to have a son like Pinocchio, and Pinocchio was grateful to have a father who believed in him despite his past mistakes. Their relationship grew with each passing day, filled with trust, respect, and love. They both understood the importance of family and appreciated every moment they spent together. One evening, as they sat together by the fire, Pinocchio thanked Geppetto for never giving up on him. He realized that his father's love had been his greatest strength throughout his journey. Geppetto smiled and reminded Pinocchio that everyone deserves a chance to learn and grow. Pinocchio promised to always remember this lesson and to help others the way his father had helped him. This promise strengthened his commitment to live a good life, filled with honesty, kindness, and gratitude. The fairy, who had been watching over Pinocchio, appeared to him once again. She told him that she was proud of his transformation and that he had truly earned his place as a real boy. Pinocchio thanked the fairy for believing in him and guiding him on his journey. He felt grateful for the second chance he had received and promised to make the most of his life. The fairy smiled, knowing that Pinocchio had learned the true meaning of being human, and she bid him farewell with a warm heart. Pinocchio's life continued with new adventures, but he faced each one with courage and wisdom. He no longer sought shortcuts or easy solutions, instead, he approached each situation with honesty and patience. His experiences had taught him that life's greatest rewards come from hard work and doing what is right. Pinocchio found joy in helping others and was respected by everyone who knew him. He had grown into a young man who was admired for his integrity and kindness. Years passed, and Pinocchio became known as a role model in his village. He often shared his story with young children, teaching them the value of honesty and courage. They listened eagerly, inspired by his journey from a wooden puppet to a real boy. Pinocchio's story became a legend, reminding everyone that mistakes are part of growth. He showed that change is possible when we choose to be honest and brave. His life became a testament to the power of transformation and redemption. Geppetto grew older, and Pinocchio cared for him just as Geppetto had cared for him in his early years. They shared a deep bond that went beyond words, built on love, trust, and respect. Geppetto felt proud of the man Pinocchio had become, knowing that he had learned valuable lessons from his journey. Together, they created a life filled with joy, understanding, and warmth. Pinocchio felt fulfilled, grateful for the family he had, and he made sure to honor his father's love every day. As the years went by, Pinocchio looked back on his journey with pride and gratitude. His life was filled with love and purpose, all because of the lessons he had learned along the way. He understood that honesty, courage, and kindness were the keys to a meaningful life. Pinocchio had started as a wooden puppet, but he had become much more. He was a real boy, a true friend, and a devoted son. His story continued to inspire others, reminding everyone that change is always possible.